So Anthony Edwards got no issue sending home senior citizens in playoffs, but whenever it comes to Western Conference Finals and he actually versus stars his age, all he does is crumble, huh? Not the first time either. So you telling me that he just basically the NBA equivalent to Jake Paul? Alright. Now that the rage rate's over, welcome to the video. Finally back in my home studio, man. Well, oh yeah, buddy, my home studio. It's my fucking shitty PC, my fucking shitty fucking desk, and my shitty fucking mic. Well, yeah, better than my skull candies. Anyways. Okay, see. Oh, wait. Man, before we get in the fucking video, hold on. Fuck you, funky. Oh, ha, my mic. Fuck you, funky diabetic. You're telling me I find this fucking sick picture of SGA with his shit-eating grin staring at Ant in the fucking face, perfect for an original YouTube commentary picture, and all I see is this shit at fucking. Hold on. Nope. Black. There. That's all I see is this shit from your channel. I was so mad. Fuck you for copying me while I'm trying to copy you, you fucking pussy. All jokes aside though, y'all. Shout out to Funky Diabetic. His channel's awesome. Based on a true story though, I was definitely salty that he used some pictures of me. But what can I really do? It was like the fucking third, fourth image on Google Images, buddy. I'm not fucking sick. Anyways, yeah, so Minnesota Timberwolves actually got sent home by OKC in 5, man. Oh, yeah. They're basically getting a classic case of what I like to call the what you gets. The what you gets is basically a situation where I refer to in playoffs where a team is in a dire situation, all due to a game that they failed to seal. It happens to a lot of our teams. Happened to my Warriors versus Wolves, game 3 specifically. A game we were supposed to win, had to lead on for majority of that game, and couldn't fucking seal it off. Because why? We crumbled. Happened to New York, game 1 versus Pacers this playoffs. Had a very strong lead leading towards the end of the game, and they crumbled and went to OT and crumbled again. Lost that one. Happened to Wolves this series. Game 4 was supposed to be yours, y'all. Game 4 was supposed to be yours. I was even saying it in my last video, this was the one close game we got this entire series. The one game where Minnesota's bench produced so much for them, was huge for them. But the issue in that one game was their stars. Julius Randle, Anthony Edwards couldn't get shit done that game. And this is the result of that. It's the what you get for not being able to seal game 4. Because if you did, you could have still been in the game right now. It would have been in the exact same situation, actually, they were in Denver. They could have been down 3-2. For all we know, if they could have sealed the game 4, it could have been a Denver situation part 2, even though I don't think that was going to happen because Denver is just not as good of a team as OKC is last year to this year. You never know. It's just one of those things, man. Like I was saying before in my previous videos, the Wolves were just nowhere near looking to be as equal as competition to OKC in any way, shape, or form in the game. OKC was better in kind of every single aspect, and it was kind of just to a depressing level. Huge props for Wolves for even getting the one win. And I don't mean that in a disrespectful manner, because the one win that they got was actually insane. Wolves gave OKC their worst loss of not this playoffs, but the entire year. Their only 40-point loss to my knowledge. After a win like that, you can't really blame me for thinking that this series could possibly go the distance. I didn't think it would end in game 5. I'm not going to lie. I thought they would get one more game back, but I kind of knew it wasn't going to go to 7, at least 6. Making my last video, which for the record, I literally made my last video during the game today. I was late as fuck on it. I tuned in at halftime, and I was expecting, something pretty even. I was thinking that it's an elimination game. Wolves will be fighting for their lives out there, But right before I open the game, all I see is this meme on my Instagram right quick. Ha! The Timberwolves scored 9 points in the first quarter of an elimination game. Buddy, when I tell y'all after I read that fucking caption, I'm looking just like Jimmy right there. Yeah, apparently since I uploaded my last video, they were already down by like 30 at halftime. It was pretty sad. Wolves just really couldn't get stuff going this series, man. Just not at all. If I gotta be critical, you gotta look at the stars first. This just was not a good series for Anthony Edwards whatsoever. We had the top 2 leading scorers this whole season in SJ and Anthony series. One of them averaged 32, the other 23. And I understand how much better OKC's defense was compared to Minnesota's. But I expect great players to overcome great defense. Now, when we're talking, again, the second leading scorer this season and the leader in 3-point shots for the entire season, that's definitely fair to say. Unfortunately, Ant's 3-point shot crumbled like his accountability this series and was just nowhere to be found. I'm not kidding when I read you guys these splits. It was fucking awful. Ant's 3-point shot, game 1, 3 for 8. Pretty good. Game 2, 1 for 9. Not good. 5 for 8. Amazing. Game 3. Game 4. 1 for 7. 14.3%. Ha. Game 5. 1 for 7 again. I'm talking back-to-back games. When you combine both their percentages, you don't even get a flat 30 fuck. It's bad. Super, super bad. It was terrible. And got double teamed a lot this series, to be expected. He's their biggest threat in the paint. And man, I talked about this whole team before, man. Rudy Gobert just continues to be a disappointment on the offensive end of the game. 2 fucking points this game, dude. What are you doing? Naz Reid, to be honest with you guys, I didn't even look much into these stats because it's just kind of worthless. I mean, as I was watching the game, I just popped in to just see what was good, to see if Minnesota was just playing with any heart left, and they really weren't. I got the time to tune in by I think halfway through the third, and this game was just far from over in there. Julius Randle actually delivered this game. Huge bounce back from last game when he was being fucking 1 for 7, 5 points. 8 for 14, 24 points. Really good, but just couldn't really get anything going. Jaden McDaniels, 5 points. 2 for 13. Just after last game, game 4, he had 22 points and he was 9 for 15. Jaden McDaniels, to be fair, is pretty inconsistent. Wasn't expecting him to get 22 again right after his last game, but maybe at least in the double digits. Couldn't do that. I really am a mixed bag with the Minnesota Timberwolves because I don't want to call them trash at all. They're a really good team. Listen, I was telling my friends this. Their team was supposed to be a play-ins team at best. And, in reality, probably looking to have a pretty mediocre chance of making it past the first round if they would get the playoffs. They weren't looking like a great team until the very last stretch of their season where they were playing the best basketball they were all year and were able to clutch that 6th seed. To make a back-to-back Western Conference appearance in the past 2 years, especially this year for the season they were looking to have compared to last year, is fucking insane. I believe these guys could win, but I don't think they can win like this. And I don't really know much about their roster and what they got in their bags to really give up for the trade market. But if we're just talking rumors and possibilities, if they could somehow land someone like KD, I don't know what they'd have to give up. I don't know what they'd have to let go, all this and all that. But if they could, this team, I think, could be for sure a top tier contender. It's just their current roster, I don't really believe in. Again, Ant is super young. He has time to flourish. He has time to patch up holes in his game. His 3-point shot again just went ghost this series. I don't think it'll look like this again next playoffs. He said he gonna train his ass off this summer, and I believe in him. But he can't carry this team to a chip all by himself. He gonna need some more reliable help. And again, this current roster, just on the offensive end, I just don't think could do it. Not just in the Western Conference, but across the whole NBA. Just like how teams were, built to beat Boston this year, you gotta do the exact same thing for OKC. I don't know how the Wolves are gonna respond, but again, they need some changes. Guess we just gotta wait and see. Just very disappointing series overall from these Wolves. I thought they would push it further than one win, but again, it's what you get for not being able to seal Game 4. It's unfortunate. When it comes to OKC on their side of the table, man, where do I begin? So first off, this win puts them in a very, very, very special club. A club with only 2 teams, the Chicago Bulls and the Warriors, specifically the 2016 Warriors and 97 and 96 Bulls. The 3 teams that were able to get 80 wins in total before heading to finals. And these are all-time teams. A fucking insane feat for OKC to be able to do. I didn't even notice their total wins from, their season and playoffs so far. Just super insane stuff. Just by this stat alone, you would think that these guys are probably going to seal finals. I mean, for the context, the Bulls won the chip the 2 years they got to 80 wins, 96 and 97. Golden State should have won the chip in 2016 when they got the 80 wins, but as we all know, that's the biggest choke job in finals history, unfortunately. I don't think that'll happen with this OKC team. Judging by this, they'll probably win the chip already, and through their play style, you can kind of tell. This trio you see in front of you right here combined for 95 points game 4. Shea at 40, Jalen Williams at 34, Chet Holmgren at 21. These same three got 75 today. And it's just super scary when you think of where they're at in this point of their career. As a team, they're only going to get better. They're just so fucking young, so much time to develop. And with Shea as their leader, what more can you really ask for at this point? They don't have a veteran on their team, I guess you could say that. But with a squad this deep, do you really need one? This is the same team who got 2 50-point wins in their first 2 playoff series, one against Grizzlies, one against Nuggets. Hell, they even broke the record for most scored points by halftime in a playoffs game ever in that game versus Nuggets, and multiple 30-point wins against the Wolves. Actually, no, I guess technically they didn't. Game 1 was like 26, I believe. I'll round up, like give them 30. The point is they just look very dominant, and I just don't really see what any team coming from the East can do against these guys. New York or Pacers. I guess Pacers would be the better matchup because they have better offense than New York, but either or on the defensive end of the floor for New York and Pacers, I just don't see anyone really stopping OKC. Just wanted to take an extra second to congratulate Shea on that Western Conference MVP. He's doing absolutely incredible. Now, this is coming from a Shea hater. Again, specifically, don't really hate Shea as a person. His play style is kind of annoying to watch, I'm not gonna lie. And I just don't really agree with his MVP over Jokic this season, personally. However, during these playoffs, he's been by far the best player on the floor in every single series. Dude, he almost went back-to-back 40-point games today. In fact, if he just played longer at the end, he easily could have reached 40 again. He had, like, I think 34 by, like, 6 minutes into the fourth quarter, something like that, maybe even less. He's just on an insane run right now, and he's just looking unstoppable offensively. If he's not making every blow jump shot, he'll just don't want to throw shade, but he'll just get to the free throw line. I was about to say he'll flail his way to the free throw line, flop. He does do that, but to put it nicely, he'll find a way to get to the line either or and just get points no matter what. You really just can't stop this guy, except for that one game he had against Wolves, 14 points. Couldn't do much about that. I don't really see that happening too much more often, especially on the finals, man. When this team has all this time to rest, go over tapes, of course, practice, talk about game planning for whoever they're going to face, I just don't see how you beat this team in 7 games. Just tell an unstoppable team, and hats off to them. God, I hate fucking talking good about OKC, but it makes me sick to my goddamn stomach. My Warriors should be here, my Warriors. Steph, I hope you're healthy next year. Fuck this shit, man. I'm gonna go play Marvel Rivals. Ooh, speaking of that, if you would like to sometimes watch me play Marvel Rivals, my Twitch on screen right now is also linked in the description. And also, if you guys would like to check out other content, I have my YouTube group reaction channel linked in the description as well. Have a good day, everyone. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Again, have a good one, y'all. Take care. Later.